You are my... Oh, what is time except a very useful metric to keep one's life organized and on a routine? Without punctuality and promptness, one starts to float in the abyss of nothingness. Nonetheless, please, do make yourself comfortable, do sit down and make yourself quite at ease. May I offer you anything? Perhaps a warm beverage, a glass of water, Coke? No, you're satisfied to your heart's content. Excellent. Well, in that case, I'm going to be taking just a few little details from you, just a couple of little pieces of information for our systems, and then we will begin the analysis and the relaxation process. I will be jotting down my observations in a notebook, but for now I will be inputting your information in my database. So first things first, may you confirm your name, date of birth, and location. Okay, excellent, excellent, and excellent. And your reason for visiting? Yeah, you can be as thorough as you please. I would really appreciate you getting into the habit, mostly because then we can really derive a lot of material from your dreams. Okay. I see. Pestered by nightmares. Very unfortunate. Truly, truly sad. And how persistent would you say the nightmares are? Would you say that perhaps it's once a night? Or would you say that it's frequent, multiple a night? Would you say that every time you close your eyes, there's a dread that washes over you, or a sense of panic that just possesses you? Frequent. I don't think that's an indication of being well adjusted, but we will give your mind just a couple of little nudges to put it back into place. A dream chiropractor, if you will. Much like chiropractors, Freudian analysis has many critics. But what are critics good for? They're not talented, nor do they create. All they can do is destroy. Nonetheless, I've collected enough information from you, and now I'm going to do just some simple little processes to get you nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed, so that way we can begin the free association. The free association. Basically, I'm going to relax your mind as deeply as I can, and as you lounge back, I will be asking you to recall the dream that you've had, perhaps last night, preferable, or any time this week, I guess is a backup. And as you express this dream, I will be noting down the details. And as I note down the details, I will then recall some symbols, if you will, from your dream. And I will be asking you, just what's the first thing that pops to your mind when I say the symbol? And I don't want you to critically think. I don't want you to have any level of forethought. I want you to just allow your mind to just express the first thought that pops to your mind. And through that, we'll be able to sort of sparse out the truth from the deception, from the dispersion, the latent from the manifest being the description of the dream as you recall it, and the latent being the truth of the dream. So, first things first, let us just set the mood by having some nice warm airs in the room. Are you allergic to any sort of scents? Are you allergic to any sort of like aromas? No? Okay, excellent. In that case, I'm going to just be spritzing around some little relaxing odors. Stay still. I guess droplets will do. There we go. Excellent. And now, I'm going to be working from the top of your head downwards. So, I'm going to take this little tool and I'm going to be sort of massaging your head, combing it down, allowing it to just scrape through your scalp, allowing all of those little knots and stagnated energies to circulate. It's going to promote good circulation and it is going to deeply, deeply relax you. So, stay still for me. I'm going to just go in gently. I don't want to be too forceful, but stay still. Is that a good amount of pressure? Would you like me to go harder? A little rougher? No? Perfect. Good. Just the back of your head. Very nice. Very good. And now towards the side. I'm going to go in and sort of scratch my fingers through your scalp now. Sort of parting it from the hemispheres and going downwards. Will help loosen you up a little bit. Excellent, 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 excellent. Anyways, now I'm going to be giving your arms and your collarbone a little bit of a massage. Here I'm just going to be sort of stimulating your lymphatic system, your lymph nodes. And then on your arms I'm going to just give them a good massage. On your hands and then also going upwards. Okay? Excellent. Give me one moment. I'm just going to be applying a little bit of this lotion. Just sort of allowing my hands to coast over your hands and also on your chest. So And may I have that hand, please? Excellent. You feel a little more loosened up. Oftentimes, although of course it's not 100% the case, but our thoughts really do govern our perspective on the world. Everything is a manifestation, or rather, everything is filtered through our perception of the world. If it is negative, then everything becomes large and scary, overwhelming. Everything becomes a threat. Everything becomes very intimidating. Everything becomes worthy of skepticism and mistrust. I'm going to go up your arm now, sort of scaling it down and sort of going down the bone, allowing it both sides to sort of be loosened up as well. I'm going to put a little bit more lotion on. If our worldview is very positive, unfortunately, it can yield to a little bit of gullibility, naivete, ignorance. So, we want a mature perspective on the world. We want one that acknowledges the negative, has a good understanding of the negative, but has an optimistic or positive overview where the negative does exist, but it stands no chance against your forethought, your consideration, your planning, your aptitudes, capacities, and capabilities, you could say. But in order to understand how deeply you are stuck inside your mind, or how your mind colors the world, we're going to be analyzing your dreams and seeing what it is that might be going a bit awry. Have a hand for me, please. Am I going gently enough for you? Very good. The whole objective is to make you feel nice and relaxed. If you feel nice and relaxed, then the associations that your mind makes will come more organically and more clearly. Also keep in mind that this is a very old building. In fact, I tried finding one as historical and old as possible, mostly because then you get memories and interesting little tidbits out of it. But it does use a water radiator, so if you start to hear water, it's not your own imagination. It's true to reality. It's water being filtered through the pipes. Nonetheless, allegedly, supposedly, actually, in dreams, rooms are meant to represent memories, little boxes of memories. A house is supposed to represent your mind, and depending on which room you visit, it's you basically revisiting a memory. However, some, including Freud, considered that level of symbolism, that direct translation, a dream dictionary type of definition, to be quite naive and misguided, which I would also think is true, but it does start to reveal a little bit of a pattern when you notice it. Now, before we begin, I'm going to be taking... Where did it go? swear I had a thermometer here. Nonetheless, I'll find it a little bit later. Now I'm going to be brushing your face all around and allowing you to feel that level of relaxation. So stay still for me. I'm just going to be brushing your face very gently. And I want you to just allow your mind to clear of any pretenses, to clear of any anxiety drives. Oftentimes, the reason for which one shows up to social circumstances or expresses oneself inauthentically is mostly because there is an anxiety drive that is pushing you to repeat that which you believe is supposed to be said or is supposed to be behaved. But it reveals a lack of confidence in oneself, a lack of comfort in one's surroundings. Not necessarily falsity as in a deceptive Machiavellian definition of falsity, but more so falsity in that of a mouse seeking to change its shadow to ward off any predatory eyes. However, you could be quite Machiavellian too. We haven't quite delved into your psyche yet. So, I want you to just allow yourself to be rid of yourself. Any pretenses, false identities, any level of mask. I want to push that away. Brush away any mask you might try to retain. So that way I can access the true you. If you do give me permission to analyze you, figure you out, and see what's going on. Very good. Let me find it the moment. Excellent. Found one. So, I want you to open your mouth for me, please. Lift up your tongue. I'm going to just take your quick temperature. Just so that way I know what temperature we're starting off with. Lower your tongue for me, please, and close your mouth. Good, thank you. And so that way if you get anxious or if you end up getting a little bit heated under the collar, then I know that there was a change. And I'll note that down in my notes. Okay, perfect. Where did the camera go? Anything I search for just seemingly disappears. What is the explanation, the analysis for that? Found it. Now, I'm going to be rolling a little bit of this over your face, allowing it to sort of smooth out any stagnated energy from your face, stimulating the lymph nodes. So I'm going to be going upwards like a V. I will be going downwards but around your eye very delicately. The skin is very delicate. You don't want to tear it around like latex. You don't want to move it around. Otherwise, it'll cause premature wrinkling and it'll reflect a more distressed and anxious life. Your face is your journal. You must take care of it. Then I will also be removing, or rather stimulating, the energy from your forehead, casting it downwards, down your neck, and then also up your neck as well. Once again, if you hear rushing waters, it is the old radiator. So, stay still for me, please. I'm just going to be going from your forehead first, and then just sort of rolling that down. Going upwards, and then sort of rolling that down. Very good. Going upwards and rolling that down. Very good. And now upwards in a V shape. Going upwards. and then going downwards around your eye. Very nice, very good. Very nice, very good. And now I'm going to be sort of going towards the corners of your eyes as such. Corners of your eyes as such. Very good. And now down your neck. Very quickly. Just as such. As such. And then upwards. Up your neck. Would you mind lifting your chin just a bit for me, please? Lift your chin. Thank you. Such beautiful, very beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Now, I'm going to be asking you to open your eyes as wide as possible for me without necessarily straining yourself like this. Keep them looking forward at me. Look at the dot on my nose. Keep looking forward. I'm going to just be analyzing your eyes very quickly. Seeing if I can observe any differences between the two. Seeing how the pupil, how dilated the pupil is. Very good. Seeing any signs. Excellent. And now, keep your eyes open. A light is going to flash in your eye, so stay still for me, please. I'm going to go in and just observe a little bit. Once again, on the other side, stay still for me. A light isn't coming. Very good. Stay still for me. Very good. Excellent. Okay. I think you're ready for a little bit of analysis, a little bit of an analyzing of your mind. Now, I'm going to start with a fresh page. And I want you to tell me in as much detail as possible the dream you had last night. In as much detail, everything you can recollect. Could you expand on that detail? Could you explore that a little bit more for me? Do you recall what happened around that? Interesting. Please continue. Continue, please. Is there anything else you can recall? Elaborate on that for me, please. Very good. Very good, excellent. You're doing a great job. Very good. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And that's where the dream ended. Very interesting, very interesting. In that case, I want you to just take a deep breath in for me. And for longer than you took a deep breath in, blow out. Through your mouth, through your mouth, through your mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Allow your shoulders to release any tension. Let them shake it out, 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 shake it out. Allow your jaw to just fall without care. Allow your face to just relax, drop within yourself. And I'm going to be asking you about a couple of these symbols. I want you to tell me the first thing that jumps to your mind when I tell you these symbols back to you. I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to self-censor or critique yourself. I want you to be as authentic, true, and real to yourself as possible. The very first thought that comes to mind, I want you to tell me it. If a thought jams inside your mind and you can't quite remember what the first thing was, we will simply move on and I will bring that symbol back to your attention and see if we'll have better chance second time around. Okay. Excellent. In that case, let us begin. Can you tell me what the significance of a creak is? What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I tell you creak? Excellent. Now, what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I tell you forest? Very interesting. Very cute. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say shadow? Interesting. And what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say dark figure? Excellent. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say running? Interesting. And what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say a single tree? Very good. Very interesting. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say dog? Very interesting. And what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say night? Very good. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say a muddy pit? Interesting. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say falling? Very good. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say moonless? Very interesting. And what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say grave? Fascinating. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say mother? Very good. And what is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say father? Very interesting. What is the first thing that pops to your mind when I say tall building? Very good. And what is the first thing that pops to mind when I say empty road? Okay. Very good. And what is the first thing that pops to mind when I say lit lamppost? Very good. And what is the first thing that pops to mind when I say cottage? Very good. What is the first thing that pops to mind when I say wooden door? Very good. And what is the first thing that pops to mind when I say chimney fire? Fireplace. Very good. And what is the first thing that comes to mind when I say trap? Interesting. And that is where your dream ended. I will have to reflect on my notes a little bit, analyze what might be the deeper meaning here. But from my observations, it seems that dear old mummy and daddy didn't quite equip you with tools necessary to navigate the world. And now you feel like you're perpetually chased, perpetually watched, perpetually hunted, and any safe dwelling in that fog of mysteries, that fog of danger, you interpret as duplicitous, as threatening. Very interesting. There's a lot to unpack here, but unpack we shall. Let me return back to my database. I'm going to want to see you again. How does next Tuesday sound? Perfect. Excellent. Around noon? Excellent. I'll jot you down. And then we can continue unpacking this and cross-reference it with whatever dream you dream of the night before. How does that sound? Excellent. Well, in that case, I'll see you next week. Sleep well.